Hey, it's AT time. My name is Ron Friedman, and today on Animation Trainers, we're going to be discussing this past weekend where I attended Lightbox Expo 2024 in Pasadena, California. And to make sure that you don't miss any of the other videos that we post here on Animation Trainers, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and switch the notification bell to all. Lightbox Expo is a convention that is held every year that is geared towards artists who are interested in animation and illustration for film, television, game development, etc. I had never attended Lightbox Expo before, and so I was excited to see what it all had to offer. So I had some Animation Trainer shirts printed so that I could promote the channel and the Patreon community, which is the QR code there on the back so people could scan it and find it, and I headed to Pasadena. And I was not disappointed. There were plenty of interesting panels and amazingly talented artists selling their work and meeting fellow enthusiasts. After having received my Saturday badge at registration, I immediately headed over to the first panel I wished to attend, which was Wallace and Gromit, Crafting Clay and Comedy with Aardman. This panel featured guest speakers Nick Park, the creator of Wallace and Gromit, and Merlin Crossingham, the co-director of the new feature film Vengeance Most Foul on Netflix, which features the return of the nefarious criminal mastermind Feathers McGraw from the fan favorite The Wrong Trousers. They showcased concept art and behind-the-scenes footage and crew stories on the production of the new movie, as well as previous projects. It was exciting to hear how they continue to rely on traditional medium to create their art whenever possible, because of the intrinsic sense of connection we seem to feel when we are making real things move that don't normally do so on their own. I believe that part of the reason why we accept the jerkiness that we sometimes see in stop-motion animation and are not off-put by it is because we understand that we are seeing these real physical objects being manipulated over time. And so I think we subconsciously understand that it is an imperfect process, and we seem to extend our sense of disbelief in order to not be pulled out of the imaginary world we have been presented. It was incredibly inspiring. After the talk, I met up with some former students from back on the East Coast who happened to be in town, and then headed to the exhibit hall, where we got to see some amazingly talented artists. One of the artists I met there who had a booth was Stan Prokopenko, the creator of the YouTube channel Proko, which primarily focuses on drawing fundamentals and techniques. I met with Stan and asked him for any advice regarding launching a YouTube channel and any advice that he could provide. He was incredibly generous with his time and gave me some really wonderful insight and things to keep in mind as the channel grows. Thank you again, Stan, for your kind words of wisdom. The day was sold out and it was heavily attended, so I decided to only check out one more panel on Saturday, which was the one I was most excited about, which was Building the Future, the Art of Storytelling at ILM Immersive. The panel featured artists who work for the company remotely here in Los Angeles at a satellite studio that is connected to the headquarters up north in the San Francisco Bay Area. I have to admit that I fanboyed out quite a bit during this panel because I love VR, and not only have I played all of the Lucasfilm-related VR content that is available, including games like Vader Immortal and Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, but also location-based entertainment such as the experiences created for The Void, which was a VR experience venue that unfortunately had to shut down during COVID. They featured experiences including Star Wars, Secrets of the Empire, Ralph Breaks VR, which was based on Disney's Wreck-It Ralph animated feature films, and Avengers Damage Control, which featured characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was exciting to listen to the panel speakers and hear about the particular considerations that need to be kept in mind when developing content that can be experienced from a user-controlled storytelling perspective. Comment quiz! If you could make a VR experience out of any intellectual property in the world, what would it be? I'd love to know in the comments below. Remember, all the cool kids comment. Unfortunately, I only had passes for Saturday, and so I wasn't planning on attending Sunday at all. But as it turned out, a former colleague of mine from Disney Interactive named Mark Centony, who's an incredibly talented technical animator, reached out and told me that he had a fellow alumni from San Jose State University that was also attending Lightbox Expo, and would I be cool with meeting up with her to talk? So I threw on another one of my Animation Trainers t-shirts and headed back down to Pasadena and met with Carrie Fudenberg, the young character artist who Mark had introduced me to. And because she is younger and looking for opportunities, she would really appreciate getting to meet someone like me and talk and get some insight. We looked at her portfolio and discussed ways in which she could present her work that would allow her to stand out amongst all the other very talented artists that would be competing for positions. When I told her about our Patreon fishbowl sessions, she said she would be completely and totally interested, but wondered whether or not she would be welcome considering the fact that she wasn't an animator. And when she said that, it nearly bowled me over because I realized in that moment that I might have inadvertently, unintentionally dissuaded anybody who wasn't an animator from joining the community because they might think it's not for them. The fact of the matter is that I'm happy to provide feedback to any artist in any discipline, so long as they understand that animation is my forte, and so if it's something outside of that, I'll give it my best information and feedback. And so I invite all artists of all disciplines to come join us on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific in our fishbowl sessions, where you will be able to meet Carrie, who I'm proud to say has decided to join our ranks. And in fact, we happen to have Carrie with us right now. Hi, Carrie. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us.
I'm doing great. Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
It was such a pleasure to meet you on Sunday, and I'm so glad that Mark recommended that we meet and be able to talk, and you could show me your stuff, and that I could tell you about the Patreon community, and that you decided that you wanted to join us. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to use this opportunity to make an announcement. So I spoke to Carrie about something that I plan to announce on the YouTube channel and in the fishbowl community at some point in the future. It's not anywhere near ready yet to announce, but at some point in the future, we will be producing an animated short. And anyone and everyone who wishes to participate will be allowed to do so and have some work to be able to put on their reel. So Carrie and I have already begun talking about some of that stuff. And again, I'm not ready to announce anything, so I can't really go into detail. But if you would be interested in working on an animated short of some kind, to be able to have that on your demo reel, please, by all means, check out our Patreon community and see if it's something that might be right for you.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very cool. We are really, really excited. So, Carrie, thank you so much, and I'm really excited to see you on Saturday, and thank you for providing these samples that are on the screen right now of some of your work so that people can get a sense of kind of what you're about. And if you like what you're seeing right now, you should join the community and be in the fishbowl session this Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific so you can talk to her about it. Cool. Thank you so much, Carrie, for making the time, and I'm looking forward to seeing you Saturday.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
This is going to be great. All right, thanks again. And if you're watching this and are a more experienced artist like myself, specifically if you specialize in a discipline other than my own, then I especially invite you to join our channel. It's a drop in the bucket to help a fellow artist out, and your wealth of knowledge and experience would mean so much to the fellow artists that are in the Patreon community fishbowl sessions. And you too can join our students, our trainees, and our beloved patrons, who have my eternal thanks for their support of this channel. Come sign up for our weekly 1-hour live feedback and over-the-shoulder animation sessions at patreon.com/animation trainers. Or would you like to have a private session with me, where we can discuss how to improve your animation skills working with me directly one-on-one? Then please visit our website at animationtrainers.com and schedule a session with me. My name is Ron Freeman, and I hope that we will see you for our next video here at Animation Trainers. In the meantime, keep it moving.